Hey, welcome to the broadcast. My name is John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy for Global Real Estate School, and I am so excited that after 2 years of working on updating our real estate course, the new player, the look and feel, and so many other cool things, I finally launched last week and getting some great feedback from the students who are already in the course. And I'm going to give you kind of a sneak peek here, but then we're going to get right in to some recording. If you're studying for your real estate test, don't go anywhere. We're going to go over that shortly here. But let me just take you over to the board and I'll kind of show you the new look and feel. By the way, if you are in Missouri, I've got a brand new fair housing course I just put up, and that launched today as well. So it's really a fun, interactive, I think a very interactive fair housing course. So you might want to check that out as well. So you can see the screen here. I'm going to kind of show you a couple of things I've done differently this time. First of all, I broke everything up into smaller modules, or courses, I should say. And so when you go into the course, you will notice this is property ownership, and you will notice there are some optional items in between. That I'm going to actually be updating some of these videos. They're still very good videos to watch. But the really cool thing about this is once you finish this specific, I think there are 8 courses, there's 8 modules inside this course. And again, many of those are optional, but they're very good to go through. They're videos of me going over the course as if I were in a live classroom setting. But you will see here, there's only 3 modules in this specific course. But here's what's really cool. Whichever state you are in, this follows the outline, whether it's Pearson VUE or PSI. Now we're looking at Missouri, so we're looking at PSI's outline format. So it's the same content, I just reorganized it. And so some of the courses, I call them courses, this is a learning path. And so you have to go through all of the courses in the learning path. And again, some of these won't take you that long. Then you'll get down to your national review, the state portion, the Missouri exam questions, and then kind of wrap everything up with the end. So it's really cool. Let me show you how the player looks here. The other neat thing that I did this time is that if you want to go back and review, always before, and I still have this up in the content library, I still have the review modules, but I will be taking these out of here. We do have some other information that's in there for you, but the nice thing about this new version is when you go, if you want to review, you just go back to the module, and you'll notice you can start over or you can review the content. So we're just going to review the content right there. And I think what's really neat about this is the fact that since I'm reviewing, it's not going to change my score or anything like that. And so I'm going to take our music down. But I wanted to show you, or the audio down, wanted to show you that I'm inside the review module. We've integrated some very interesting things into to the course. Number one, you can go to the next button right up here. So I can go to the next button there, or I can also use the next button down below. So I'm going to go up here to home, and you'll notice that's going to take me back to the home screen. So it's labeled home. If at any time I want to go out to our Global Real Estate School support page, I can go there. You can just simply type in a question if you have any questions there. On the other side, we have a glossary. So all of the national content, we're building out this glossary. So if you want to find out a specific definition, you can either type in meets and bounds, or if you can go and just go right to the National Glossary and find something that you're interested in knowing, and then we'll be adding videos and so much more there as well. We also have the info box right here. That's going to take you out to a place where you can watch any videos on how to navigate the course. If you want to learn, today I had one of the students that said, can I go back in and review one of the modules? And I said, absolutely. And so I just went out and I sent him this link right here to this specific video, and he was able to go out and review the modules. But if you want to know, how do I work it on a mobile app? How do I navigate the course? All of that's right here. And again, you can access that from the info button right there. So really has some cool features, and this is the look and feel. We're going to actually go through Module 2 here in just a moment. So if you want to stick around and watch me go through that, I would love for you to do that as well. But it's been, gosh, a couple of years in the making, and I've had a lot of help from my daughter and son-in-law, and from my assistant. And so just thank you to everyone who's helped me over the last couple of years getting this done. The last few months, it just seems like I have been totally engrossed into trying to get that, the football over the finish line. Seems like sometimes I have all these crazy ideas going through my head, and I never can seem to complete some things the way I want to. And this time I have, so I'm so excited. And we've really had, we launched it last week, and we've got quite a few people going through the sessions. So I think it's going to be a lot of great for everyone. And I'm so excited that I can focus now on creating interesting content to enhance what's already there, like what we're going to do right now. So I want to go through Module 2. One of the things that I've done, and I'll show you this here, is we're going to exit out of the module right here. There's so many other cool things that I've developed in this. When you log into the course, it's going to send you questions. Now, I've answered all the questions, I'm caught up, but when you log in, it's going to actually give you questions over things that you've already taken. So the goal is, when you finish property ownership, it's going to get, and you start in with land controls, it's going to give you questions from the previous modules so that you're always kind of learning and understanding what's going on. So very excited about that. I want to make sure that hopefully, nope, still going good. Okay, great, because I got a phone call there, and I forgot to put my calls on silent. So we will do that so we don't get bumped off here. So I want to go back over to the board, and I want to kind of go with you through Module 2. And I'm going to be, you'll notice in between, I've always had these, but in between each module is an optional study session. And so we're going to go up here to personal property, and you will see that there is a study session for personal property right here. The problem is, I shot this video a long time ago, and I'm trying to update some of those videos. So these are optional, and they're just the ability, if you want to watch this, you can watch it. And that's me from a long time ago. But again, you don't have to watch it, and I'm going a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to exit that, and I'm going to go into Chapter 2, and I'm going to show you. Now, I've already completed this, so instead of starting over, I'm going to review the content. And so that'll bring me up to the very first slide, and this is where we're going to get started for today. And for some reason, I have just lost my screen. Let's see. Nope, we're there. So I had to make sure that you were seeing that same thing. So we're going to go through national content. I'm going to turn the audio down or mute it for us. And again, just want to kind of point out, it's hard for you to see. Maybe I can put myself on the screen. So I'm going to kind of show you that down here, I'm pointing down in the bottom right corner. You'll see we have closed captions for everything. We have some other tools that are available there. So there's lots of really cool items to help enhance. So if you want to watch this in closed caption, you can. Again, you can move the next button in the very bottom right, or we have a button up in the top right corner of the slide. The other item I should point out are the resources. So each section, we do have that specific section for you from the textbook, and I've also put together a summary sheet. So I kind of put just together a summary, like if anything, print this out and use it as a way to prepare and study for the test. So that's with every chapter. You'll have that under the resources. And if you don't want to print the papers out, you can order the book right there on Amazon. They'll ship it right out to you. So all of that is available to you. So we're going to get in to Module 2. And I'm going to talk about some of this here for you so that we can go over that together. Now, you have to keep in mind, I'm talking down at the bottom, and on Chapter 2, I kind of remind people just not to get discouraged and kind of take your time, go through the course, and so forth and so on. So again, really excited about the new look, feel, format. People always have loved the original version, but I'm telling you what, I'm just so excited about the updates and the additional resources and tools and the additional ways that I'll be helping remind you. And then I'm excited about now I can start plugging in all this other stuff I want to plug into the course now that that's all done. So let's get in to Chapter 2, kind of a study session. And I'm going to edit out everything prior to this. So I'll plug this into the study session, which will be an optional session that if you're a student, you could go over. All right, great job on Module 2, or the second module, which is personal property. Now, I've got the information up here on the slide, and we're going to go through this and make sure that you understand the content that we've gone through in Module 2. There's not a lot of things you need to worry about in the second module here. So what I would encourage you to understand are a couple of things that I'm going to pull up, kind of a whiteboard, and we'll go through this together. I have some learning objectives that are coming up on the screen, but the real main points that I want you to remember from Module 2 is there are a couple of things you could see. Number one, personal property. I'm a creative speller, so if I misspell anything, my apologies in advance. We mention in the course it's anything that is movable. So if you can move it, it's personal property. Now let's think about this, because we know a couch is movable, don't we? However, I have a video coming up in the latter part of this module which really takes us outdoors and we look at a particular item. And it's I think, a great illustration or example of the types of questions you could see on the real estate exam. And we're going to get into our acronym MADE as we talked, the method of attachment, the annexation of the item, the intention of the parties, and did an agreement exist? Now, I said we're going to watch a video in a little bit, and my apologies. You've already watched the video because you just finished module 2, okay? So my apologies there. You've already seen it, but that was a good example of an item that's really could easily be picked up and moved, but it really adapts so well to the koi pond that you couldn't take that with you, okay? Now, let's go back over here to the board and remind ourselves that if it's movable, it's personal property. So I gave you another example, the video of the curtain rods. Those would be fixtures. We get into things like mirrors, and that could be real touchy there, right? Could a mirror be personal property, or could it be a fixture? My wife and I have a large mirror that we had in our home at one time. We're trying to sell it now. It looks like it could be a fixture, but is very movable, and it would not hurt anything by just taking it off the wire. In fact, a lot of times we just had it on the floor, kind of attached, but it was very movable in that case. Those are the kind of questions that they're going to get into on the real estate exam with you. The other item that I think you need to understand are what they term trade fixtures. Let's see if we can, whoops. I keep forgetting I'm using a different board here. And if I want to go to a new page, I have to do that. Trade fixtures are what? Do you remember that? Trade fixtures are installed by the tenant. Oops. I lost my frog board. Technology. Let's see if it'll bring that right back up for us. Installed by the tenant. Well, we will go to we'll try it one more time. So I'm going to go over it. Okay, we'll try this. So you need to know about trade fixtures. They're installed by the tenant for the tenant's business. And they can be removed by the tenant and that's the last time I'm going to do that. There may be an update needed. Let's see if we can find our other board here. I hope my audio and everything's working. Let's see, whiteboard. Right there. We will try this. I will edit this out for our study sessions. That's kind of the nice thing about, I meant to go over here to this right here. That's a nice thing. I can always edit some things out. So all of that will be edited out and will be cleared up and ready to go. So let's talk about, let me bring up a white. Let's talk about trade fixtures. And I know we've done, oh, there must be something. I'm going to exit out of that. Maybe that's the problem. That I had that other module up. And so I'm going to actually very quickly, it may not have liked the fact that this was launching in a new module and could have been disrupting somehow. So remember, the tenant can remove the trade fixtures I can't get the before. I have no idea what's happening there. But we are going to not worry about it, and I'm going to just come over here and talk to the camera, and we will fix it this way, okay? So don't forget, trade fixtures can be removed prior to the lease expiring. All right, now let me make sure. So the trade fixture is installed by the tenant, and it is the tenant's to keep, and they can remove it as long as they remove it prior to the expiration of the lease. And we learned in the course that if you don't remove it prior to the expiration of the lease, the landlord gets to keep that through what is called a cession, okay? And so they're going to throw questions at you regarding what is personal property, what is not personal property, what a trade fixture is, who gets to keep the trade fixture if it's not removed, who owns the trade fixtures. And as you noticed as we went through the course, there were lots of questions that kind of were thrown at you in different angles for you to be able to determine of the following, which would be personal property. And trade fixtures would be personal property if they're removed before the expiration of the lease. Now you need to know who the landlord is and who the tenant is, and lots of those various words that we cover in the flashcards, so don't forget that. Now, a couple of other things, they like to use the word chattel. Chattel is a word for personal property, so don't forget that. And then don't forget that you use a bill of sale to transfer personal property, okay? Very important. Those two terms you could see on an exam question. The other exam question they like to put at you is that agricultural question where someone leases property from someone else, they plant the crops, and so and then the property's sold during the growing season. Who gets to take the crop with them? Do they become property of the new owner? Do they stay with the previous owner? Or do you, as the tenant, the farmer who planted the crops, get to take those crops and harvest those? Well, the answer is you get to take those and harvest those, okay? So those are the type questions you could see coming out of Chapter 2. It's not a real challenging chapter, or at least what I call a chapter or module inside of the course, property ownership. But there are some key specific definitions, and I would imagine you could see one question out of this specific module that we have, maybe two questions, and I think you should be able to answer those without any problem. So thank you for your hard work. You're ready to continue on with the course, and keep up the good work. Now, I'm going to have to do a lot of editing to make that work, but I'll get it done. If not, I'll reshoot it. But thank you for watching the video. I'm going to be coming back and doing a lot more live streaming, so hopefully the YouTube popped up, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to get in depth on questions and some more things, and I may be doing more live streaming throughout the day because I'm going to have more time now that we have everything up and in order. But I need you to tell others about Global Real Estate School. We are approved in a number of states, and we want to see more students start using Global Real Estate School in states like Utah and Hawaii, who I just did a webinar for a couple hours ago. It was a lot of fun. And we've got our school approved in Indiana and Oklahoma. We've had a lot of good students here the last couple of months down there. Thank you. We've got a broker who's recruiting and appreciate their hard work. Florida, we are approved in. We offer courses in South Dakota. So anyway, we'd love to have you. And of course, Missouri and Kansas and our steady, our faithful. So appreciate that. But tell others about Global Real Estate School. We'd love to have you there. Hope you enjoyed at the beginning our new look and feel of the course. And anytime you have any questions, please feel to reach out to me. As always, thank you. Go out.